This morning, Governor Gavin Newsom is signing an executive order that stops the death penalty in California.
KCRA3 political analyst and Senior Vice President of Rando Communications, Kevin Riggs, joins us for the Riggs Report. So, Kevin, didn't voters recently decide to keep the death penalty in place?
Well, this is a big deal because voters, in fact, have weighed on this issue twice in recent years. Back in 2012, voters rejected Proposition 34, which would have abolished the death penalty by a 52 to 48% vote. They rejected the measure, even though the supporters greatly outspent the opponents of that measure. Then in 2016, voters rejected a similar measure by a similar margin, Prop 62, and they also passed Prop 66, which was designed to put a limit on the appeals process in death penalty cases. So the bottom line here is that even though overall the support for the death penalty in California has eroded over time, the majority of voters in recent elections have said they want to keep that in place. The governor's decision to grant reprieve to all those on death row effectively defies the will of the voters as expressed in those recent elections.
Well, and that's why a lot of people are saying this is just personal. These are your personal beliefs that you're now decreeing.
Yeah, and the governor will talk today about the extreme cost of keeping the death penalty in place, the cost of maintaining death row, the extensive cost of the legal appeals process, but he also has made it very clear, Deirdre, you're right, that he is a personal opponent of the death penalty. In that respect, there's an interesting distinction here between him and his predecessor, Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown, of course, was a longtime personal opponent of the death penalty, going all the way back to his time in the Jesuit seminary, but when asked about it as Attorney General and as governor, he would always say he would carry out the law and not let his personal beliefs govern what he would do. Of course, that was never tested because there were no executions during Jerry Brown's last two terms. The last execution in California, 2006, Clarence Ray Allen put to death for masterminding a triple murder in Fresno County.
Well, and the kind of grim joke is that you have a better chance of dying of natural age on California's death row than actually going through an execution.
Absolutely true.
So another topic, it was kind of the soundbite heard nationwide, Nancy Pelosi saying that she opposed efforts to impeach President Trump. How surprising is that?
Well, I think it was surprising, but also I think a reflection of her political skills. I mean, Pelosi essentially is saying she has this assessment that, look, the House Democrats could pursue impeachment, but absent any Republican support, they wouldn't have the two-thirds vote they need in the Senate to actually convict and remove Donald Trump from office. So that would leave the nation with a bloody political spectacle. It obviously would leave the Democrats vulnerable to criticism that they put on this political drill strictly for partisan purposes. So I think she wants to avoid that. That's not going to make all Democrats happy, obviously, but I think what she's saying is that absent any political smoking gun that we don't know about yet, probably better to let the voters decide the fate of Donald Trump and not Congress.
All right. Kevin, thank you so much. Kevin writes a political blog, and you can read it on the KCRA3 News app every Thursday.